ladies and gents, let's get into these reactions. First reaction of the night, man. This video is called How FedEx Cost Vancouver Their NBA Team. Now, as some of y'all know, I currently stay in Vancouver, so it's very important for me to know kind of what happens in the city, know the history of the city, be tapped in, know what's going on. So we gonna watch this little video, figure out, like I said, how FedEx cost Vancouver their NBA team, and figure out what be going on in our city. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, once upon a time, we almost had an NBA team. Apparently, there's noise about it potentially coming back. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's figure out the history of the city, what went down, and let's see if we could potentially get our NBA team back. Let's get it. Let's go.
Michael Heisley is about to
Also, don't mind me, y'all. I've been editing all day. I haven't eaten all day. You feel me? So I'm gonna be snacking on my dinner now. Leave me alone. You feel me? Oh! It is what it is.
take the stage to sing the national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land.
While a bit unusual, this was a gesture in good faith, reinforcing his commitment to keeping the team in Vancouver, a commitment that he's held since the day he bought the team.
I intend to do everything in my power to make this franchise a success in Vancouver.
Okay.
Which makes it all the more shocking that in just a few months, he will be moving the team to Memphis, Tennessee. To understand how we got here, we must go all the way back to 1954. In 1954, a Memphis artist would conceive of a vision to build a monumental structure in the city, a pyramid overlooking the Mississippi River. After all, the city of Memphis was named after the ancient Egyptian capital, so why not give it a landmark to match? Just as the pyramids of Giza stood over the Nile, this new American pyramid would rise above the Mississippi. Though he was never able to materialize his vision, Memphis would have another dreamer who would have better luck. Across town, a 10-year-old boy named Frederick Smith will be growing up.
Well, my childhood was autonomous. My father had passed away when I was 4. Not having a father influence, I guess I sort of learned a lot of things on my own.
For university, he would attend Yale. In 1965, he would be tasked with writing a term paper for his economics class. On this paper, he would write the genesis of what would soon revolutionize the shipping industry.
I was a student at Yale and wrote a paper about the computerized society that was on the horizon.
Smith concluded the companies couldn't afford to keep a full inventory of costly spare parts on hand. So he envisioned a new system to move parts quickly overnight and door to door.
And then I sort of let that lie. I didn't get a particularly good grade on it, as I recall.
In 1973, this same boy would return home to Memphis and start a company. He would name it Federal Express.
Damn.
Hello, Federal Express, when it absolutely, positively has to be there overnight.
Throughout the 70s and 80s, Federal Express will grow exponentially into $1 billion company. By 1994, Federal Express will rebrand themselves into what we know today as FedEx. Also in 1994, the NBA officially announced its expansion into Canada, awarding franchises to Toronto and Vancouver. Toronto was seen as the more viable market, with greater corporate backing and a larger population, while Vancouver's bid was led by the same ownership group as the city's NHL team, the Canucks, and they were opening a new arena that same season and thought of this as a why not investment. The Vancouver franchise initially wanted the name of the Mounties, named after the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. However, they would object. They eventually settled on the Grizzlies, a name previously rejected by Toronto, but in a way more fitting for British Columbia. The Grizzlies would start their tenure going 2-0, the best record out the gate for an expansion team.
Byron Scott, 2 seconds.
Love you, Vancouver.
Grizzlies.
What up, Lance? What up? What up? Welcome to the chat, man. Nah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Are 2-0 to start the regular season.
They would then lose their following 19, ultimately finishing the season 15-67. the Grizzlies await for the day their fortunes turn around. By 1995, Fred Smith, the founder of FedEx, has become a Memphis icon. Though he built a company.
Yeah, I know. Let's bruh, did you just see that record? Oh! They said that as soon as their team came in, they went in and got 2 back-to-back wins, and then went on to lose the next 19 or some shit. Or I don't even know what they said, bro. But that shit looked bad, bro. God damn, bro. Oh!
When he dedicated to shipping, Fred Smith himself remained firmly rooted, committing his life and legacy to the city of Memphis.
But here's what I respect him for and admire him greatly. He never entertained relocating FedEx from Memphis.
But for FedEx to keep expanding in the city, Memphis had to grow with it. And what better way to advertise a city than to chase after a professional sports franchise, specifically an NFL team. This wasn't just Smith's dream. For decades, Memphis had been chasing the NFL, only to be repeatedly used as leverage in the league's negotiations with other cities. That was until 1974, when Memphis would finally land their own professional football team from the newly established World Football League.
The World Football League. This year, the league is gambling millions more by buying some of the biggest names in pro football.
The franchise was originally set to be based in Toronto, but Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau passed the Canadian Football Act, which effectively banned foreign football leagues from operating in Canada. Thus, the team would relocate to Memphis. Though the WFL only lasted 1 season before folding, the Memphis team was actually a success and financially viable.
Wait. This is not even about football, but if I hear that correctly, bro, our prime minister basically banned football? How are you going to pass a law that essentially bans foreigners from playing football on your territory? Like, what the fuck is that? Oops. I mean, I guess that sound effect works. But what the fuck is that? Oh! Bro, think about it, bro. You gotta think about tourism. You gotta think about the amount of money it brings in. You gotta, like, I don't understand where his head was at in terms of, because I'm sure there were probably negative things that were coming with it that he was trying to, like, dodge and get around. But that's a bad business move, dog. Bad business move, dog. Now that's what it sounds like, bro. It sounds like, but it says that FedEx started in Memphis and remained in Memphis. So I think what they're about to get to is that I think that FedEx just bought out Vancouver. They just bought out the Grizzlies. I think that's what happened. Vancouver wasn't doing well, and they just bought him out. I think that's what's happened. They were looking for a team, and rather than starting from scratch, they just bought out Memphis. I mean, they bought out Vancouver. That's my guess.
Yes, sir.
You want to come back?
Yes, sir.
How about you, sir?
Enjoyed it immensely. We'll be back.
Oh, and the name of this beloved team? The Memphis Grizzlies. Fast forward to 1995, and the NFL was expanding again. Fred Smith would team up with the estate of Elvis Presley to submit a bid for a new franchise. But in the end, the NFL chose Charlotte and Jacksonville instead. This was the final nail in Memphis's NFL coffin. 2 years later, the NFL would toss Memphis a bone. As the Houston Oilers were planning to relocate to Nashville, they had to wait for Nashville to complete their stadium. Thus, the team planned to play its home games in Memphis. Local fans did not like this idea and stayed away from the games.
The headline on the opening day said, "Our dream, their team." Huge letters. And that's how it felt like.
The attendance was so abysmal that the Oilers would move a year early and play at Vanderbilt University in Nashville instead. While Memphis was hurting over a team they don't have, Vancouver was hurting over a team they do have. By 1999, Toronto was already developing into its own identity with the duo Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady. Vancouver, meanwhile, has made zero progress, still the worst team in the league. In fact, they were the worst team in the league 3 of their last 4 seasons. The fan base has also gotten increasingly frustrated.
I ain't gonna lie, I noticed that too. I let it slide, bro. They literally had a football team called the Memphis Grizzlies, and that bitch lasted a year, bro.
Oh! Somebody! Oh! He needs some milk!
Bro, I don't know who's pulling what strings, bro, but Y'all are tripping, bro. Like, business-wise, y'all are tripping, bro.
With GM Stu Jackson, who have missed on draft picks year after year. Just a year prior, with the second overall pick, the Vancouver Grizzlies would select 6'2" guard Mike Bibby, who was thrilled to be picked.
I just told him, I said, I don't want to play here. And they were like, we're going to pick you anyway.
A year later, in the 1999 NBA draft, with the second overall pick again, this time, Vancouver would select a 6'3" guard.
With the second pick in the 1999 NBA draft, the Vancouver Grizzlies select Steve Francis from the University of Maryland.
Little did they know that this move would alter their franchise history.
Pissed, bro.
But before we get to that, a quick word from today's sponsor.
Brother.
You cracked it. Cracker Barrel. Oh! Somebody! Oh! He needs some milk!
Oh, they gave me like a double ad, bro. I got hit by a sponsor ad in the video, then a YouTube ad. Nah, y'all ODing it, bro.
Oh!
Chill out, bro.
You see, you political.
You got it, bro. You got it, bro. You got it.
This was a great pick. Cold, woo hoops. In all honesty, this was a great pick.
Bro, did that guy just
Steve
cry?
Francis will
Maybe it's happy tears. Maybe it's happy tears.
ultimately become the only Vancouver draft pick to ever become a multi-time All-Star. It also didn't hurt that Francis was a high flyer, potentially Vancouver's own Vince Carter.
Stevie Francis, showtime!
There was just one problem. Despite being great at hiding his emotions, Steve Francis did not want to play in Vancouver.
Now, before yesterday's NBA draft, Steve Francis's agent said he would have a problem playing in Vancouver. Obviously, one of the problems is Steve Francis doesn't know where Vancouver is.
Instead of calling his bluff,
Damn.
GM Stu Jackson would abide by Francis's wishes, trading him to the Houston Rockets. Vancouver would never get their Vince Carter. In September of '99, the Grizzlies would be sold to billionaire Bill Laurie for $200 million. Laurie's intentions? To move the team to St. Louis. When David Stern caught wind of the plan, he would block the relocation, effectively killing the sale.
When you place a franchise someplace, you ask and are asking the fans to make a certain commitment to the team, and it's not inappropriate for the fans in the cities that you ask to make those commitments to expect the leagues to have some commitment to them.
With the team's future now in limbo, in January of 2000, Chicago billionaire Michael Heisley would swoop in to purchase the Grizzlies for $160 million.
Damn! Are you guys listening? Are you guys listening, bro? Yo, I'm no millionaire, but I could definitely do simple math, bro. Let's go back on that. Bro bought the Grizzlies from Vancouver for what, 250 or 260 M's, and then sold it for one. Bro, hold on. That's bad business, bro. Somebody just lost 100 M's for doing nothing, bro. You bought the team from Vancouver and we're gonna move it to St. Louis. They said no. Then you had to get rid of the team and lost 100 M's in the process.
Oh!
To be fair, they did say he was a billionaire, but billionaires are not just losing 100 M's, bro. Let's be realistic, bro. They're not just losing 100. Bro, let me listen to that number again.
St. Louis.
Hold on, bro.
Vancouver would never get their Vince Carter. In September of '99, the Grizzlies would be sold to billionaire Bill Laurie for $200 million.
Okay, 200 million. So it's 200 M's flat. Okay, cool. Oh! So from 200, I mean, that's 40 million, I guess. I mean, that's still a lot of money, though. I don't know why I'm saying I guess the reason why I'm saying is because that's not as big as 250, but that's still a lot of money, bro. That's still a lot of money, bro.
Oh!
Place a franchise someplace, you ask and are asking the fans to make a certain commitment to the team, and it's not inappropriate for the fans in the cities that you ask to make those commitments to expect the leagues to have some commitment to them.
With the team's future now in limbo, In January
I
of
need to hear this
2000,
again, bro.
Chicago billionaire Michael Heisley was swooped in to purchase the Grizzlies for $160 million.
Michael Heisley gotta be some type of thief, bro. And he knew what he was doing too. That's crazy.
Difference this time, Heisley wanted the team to stay in Vancouver.
Oh!
What I can talk about this morning is my commitment to the Vancouver Grizzlies, our fans, and the city of Vancouver. I intend to do everything in my power to make this franchise a success in Vancouver.
Heisley would say all the right things and even build the team a new practice arena on open.
All right, hold on. Michael Heisley, where are you from and what do you do? Michael Heisley. So you're an American businessman. Why did you care so much about? See, he was lying, bro. Oh! Is that all he's known for? Oh man, he died? Damn. Rest in peace. Where did his wealth come from? I don't know. I just be going in random tangents, but where did Michael Heisley's wealth come from? This is not important at all, but I'm just pocket watching.
A few moments later.
I don't know why I'm like, this is so random and not important. Let's go back to the video.
I intend to do everything in my power to make this franchise a success in Vancouver.
Heisley would say all
But again, like, I was just confused as to who this guy is and why he cared so much about Vancouver, especially with him being American. When I looked it up, it said he was an American businessman. So I'm like, bro, what business do you have pledging, you know, your alliance or being like, yo, I'm serious about Vancouver, XYZ. I want to do this and that for Vancouver. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I believe you? And like, who are you? And, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you was from here, I'd be like, all right, cool. But bro's just cat, bro.
the right things and even build the team a new practice arena. On opening night, he would win over the fan base by, of course, as we know, singing the national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native.
I ain't gonna lie, this guy, this guy's a manipulator, bro. That's smart, bro. Again, I'm just a regular nigga, bro. I'm not super patriarch or whatever the case may be or whatever that word is. So like, you sing the national anthem, that's not gonna move me. However, I understand how other people be like, wow, an American singing our you know what I'm saying? Like, I could see someone else going crazy. So he's definitely playing checkers.
Finally, Vancouver seemed to be in the hands of an owner who truly cared. For a couple months. You see, behind the scenes, Heisley claims to have lost over $40 million. How is this possible? Well, one, though Michael Heisley...
I did the math already. Wait, no. He was the... No, he didn't lose 40 million. He made the 40 million win. The other guy lost 40 million. So how did he lose? Bro, what did you do? Nah, y'all are all bad businessmen, bro. What the fuck is going on here, bro?
Bought 100%.
Everyone just losing 40 M's. Everyone's just losing 40 M's, bro. What's going on?
Of the Vancouver Grizzlies. That's all he got. The Canucks ownership group held on to complete control of the arena.
He didn't have control of the arena. The Canucks got all the money from that arena.
2. The Canadian dollar during the turn of the millennium was at an all-time low. As team expenses and player salaries were paid in USD, revenues being generated were in Canadian dollars, putting the franchise at a huge financial disadvantage. And all of this could have been fine if the team was good. The Grizzlies were not. They were actually historically bad. They were actually the worst team of all time, going 101 and 359 in their tenure in Vancouver.
I don't really watch the Grizzlies that much, so.
Why not?
Well, you know, they kind of suck as a team, you know.
You know, the NBA players, I think they had real spoiled attitudes.
I'm a hockey fan. They want to go, they can go, for all I care.
This triple whammy would lead Michael Heisley to the inevitable conclusion. It was time to relocate the franchise.
And when I get to the point where it's obvious to me and any other rational person it isn't going to be a success, then I'm going to move.
Damn. That's unfortunate. But wait, what does this have to do with FedEx?
Oh!
Success, then I'm going to move.
On February 12th, 2001, David Stern would give him the go-ahead to begin the relocation process. Ultimately, 4 cities would emerge as frontrunners: Anaheim, Louisville, New Orleans, and Memphis. Out of the 4, Memphis, being the smallest market, seemed to be the longest of shots. In fact, CBC would claim nothing short of Elvis phoning Heisley to voice his support for the Memphis bid will convince the owner to move to the city. But in a stroke of miracle, the final choice would come down to 2 cities, Louisville and Memphis. Louisville offered a 20-year sponsorship package worth $100 million and have them play in a new $200 million arena named the KFC Bucket. Memphis's efforts will be spearheaded by Pitt Height, the founder of AutoZone. Him and a group of local businessmen would form a group now known as NBA Now and offered a new $250 million arena that's publicly funded. However, there was one thing Memphis wasn't offering yet that could potentially seal the deal.
David Stern wanted to be the league to be engaged with FedEx.
We know the NBA was, like all sports leagues, extremely desirous of a large FedEx relationship, no matter where it was.
And from Fred Smith's perspective, this was Memphis's opportunity to finally enter the national stage. What he missed out on with the NFL just 5 years prior, this time he gets a redo with the NBA.
All of the key FedEx folks, Fred Smith, would say that they were smiling upon it.
Just as he's done many times before, Fred Smith would deliver. FedEx would offer $90 million for the naming rights to the new arena.
You know, they've stepped up very clearly and said, listen, we'll buy a naming rights deal for the new arena, and that money will go directly into your pocket, Mike Heisley.
As decision time neared, ESPN will frame this as Kentucky Fried Chicken versus FedEx. Ultimately, Memphis will be chosen.
It wouldn't have happened without FedEx.
There are a lot of people who were engaged in bringing the Grizzlies to town, but without Fred Smith and FedEx, it simply would not have happened.
A great American story, right? Not so fast.
That's so funny. I freaking knew it, bro. I freaking called it, bro. That's exactly what I said.
Smith's offer for the team was only for the naming rights. That does not go into helping cover for the new arena.
And he made it very clear to me. He said, Mr. Mayor, if you want my team, you've got to build me a $250 million state-of-the-art arena.
And while we're on the topic of new arenas, remember the pyramid idea from earlier? Well, in 1991, Memphis would actually build it, with the majority of construction publicly funded.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not mad at the people of Vancouver, you feel me? I wasn't here at the time, so I can't really speak on it, but if you were, it's the same thing that happened to whatever team Luka got traded from. Like, if your team sucks and you're tired of watching them night after night, month after month, year after year, and these guys just losing, like at some point you're like, damn, bro, you don't even want to be associated with these losers anymore. You're like, bro, just move around, bro, just go on, bro, go do something, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even mad at them for feeling that way. And that's the same way that these guys were feeling about, you know what I'm saying, Luka right before the trade. They were like, man, this guy getting, like, it wasn't them. They was fucking with Luka for real. But the team wasn't doing too well. And I guess the coach just wanted to do some rearranging. So when the coach and the city or the staffing felt like, all right, the city needs a revamp and the team needs a revamp. I don't know why they got rid of their most key piece, but you know what I'm saying, they just made a decision based off what they thought their people wanted. And that shit was not the right move, gang. Bad business. Bad business.
Years later, the torch has been rekindled. Feel the power of the great American pyramid.
The purpose of this pyramid? to be the city's premier basketball arena. Now, just a decade later, Memphians will now foot the bill for another arena at 3 times the cost, all for the worst team in the league.
Heisley wanted taxpayers to not only pay for the building, but the Grizzlies would get complete control of the arena, including concert and all concession revenues.
Memphians were furious, and Mayor Willie Harrington knew that if this ever came down to a referendum, it would not pass.
Literally, people said, we don't want them to come because we think they'll leave.
He would decide to bypass the public vote and approve the funding himself. But before the sale was official, Michael Heisley would throw in one final twist.
Damn. Bro's trying to suck everything out of this deal, bro.
So I get a call that says, Mayor, you got to come down here. The deal is about to fall apart. I said, well, what do you mean?
Heisley attorney Stan Meadows throws a last-minute curveball, demanding Memphis cover any of the team's operating losses. In Vancouver, the Grizzlies were losing $30 to $40 million a year.
And I remember saying to Stan, we want this team. My city deserves this team, but we're never going to agree to cover the losses. And before we cover the losses, you can take this team, and I told him where to shove it. They knocked on the door, and he said, Mr. Mayor, we have a deal. We understand.
Well, the team's been in the league 6 years, and in that time, the Vancouver Grizzlies won 98 games. They lost another 352. So an announcement today that it's applied to move to an American city comes as no surprise.
On March 26, 2001, Michael Heisley would announce that he had selected...
Damn, that's 3 days after my birthday. Literally day, year, everything, bro. Oh! Crazy.
Memphis as the new home of the Grizzlies. 25 years after the WFL Grizzlies came to Memphis, they would get a second chance. And this time, the team was here to stay. They would request for a name change to the Memphis Express alongside a FedEx banner stripe on the jersey. The NBA would reject the proposal. Corporate sponsors on jersey has no place in the league. For Vancouver, they would play their final home game ever on April 14th, 2001. They would lose the game to the Rockets 95 to 100. The player of the game, they will lose the game to the Rockets 95 to 100.
It's not that bad.
The player of the game, Rookie of the Year, Steve Francis. In 2004, the Memphis Grizzlies would make it to their first ever playoffs. Pre-game, owner Michael Heisley would take the mic.
Nah, literally, that sounds like a rope. Look at this politicking head ass, bro.
Light, what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallant.
Damn. So basically what I'm gathering from this, if I'm getting this correctly, what I'm gathering from this is that we lost a team because these guys sucked, bro. Oh! These guys sucked and they weren't able to keep the audience entertained. And so they had to, and I'm not even being funny, bro. That's just really what it is, bro. At the end of the day, it all, like, the power is in the people, right? And if the people were not fucking with it, the people were just not fucking with it, bro. Oh! It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, apparently, you know, we got a newer generation. We got younger people and shit like that. And it's like, there's like a fight to bring the team back. But realistically, it's like, how many people are really watching ball? And how many people are actually going to engage? Like, if the city really goes that far to bring a team, who's going out and watching games? Who's really gonna, you know what I'm saying, do this? However, like, maybe I should get more into like hockey and shit, to be real, because it's like, man, I be watching like sporting events and stuff like that, and like one thing that I do is like I'll look in the crowd and I'll just see like how electrified and like excited fans are. I'm like, man, I wish I could be that excited about something, bro. I wish I could be that tapped into like my city and just be like that engaged and that excited, bro. Or like when I'm looking at my homies, like when my homies be like betting and shit, and they got parlays and shit, like they're emotionally invested in the games too and shit. I'm just like, damn. The only way that I would be that emotionally invested if I was like somehow connected. You feel me? So I wish, you know what I'm saying, our city had a team, but I doubt it's gonna happen based on, you know what I'm saying, the return that they would most likely not get. You feel me?
Alright, yeah. I'm getting gritty on these niggas. I'm getting gritty on these bitches. Here we go, now they talking again. Yeah. I'm getting gritty on these niggas. I'm getting gritty on these bitches. Here we go, now they talking again. Yeah. I'm getting gritty on these niggas. I'm getting gritty on these bitches.